So a gulag is a work camp where people were exterminated by labor. A charter school is a place of education where teachers' souls are crushed and their hearts are broken and they are killed by labor. And this is the tragedy of my public education. Yes. And to be a tragedy in the classical sense, you need a hero who has a character flaw that moves the plot forward and who makes a mistake and/or makes a mistake. And I am the hero of the story. And it was really hard for me to decide on just which character flaw to focus on. But the one that was most prominently at work in this story was my impatience and my not so much paying attention to things, character flaw. And because of that, if there's ever a choice between two things, I will always choose the harder one of the two. Absolutely. So if you see me at the bottom of a mountain and you see there's a nice trail that goes like this, I will be the person saying, oh look, we want to go there. And so I mean, if you just go from here to there, what's the big deal? I mean, it's so much shorter and it's going to be so much better and it's not going to be so long because I do have little attention problems. It's going to be easier, in fact, to just go there. So that when you're, hanging on to the sheer rock face by your fingernails and your toenails that you didn't see down below, there's no way else out but through. You understand that this flaw sometimes might even be fatal. So I had just put down the phone, literally. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I had literally just put down the phone because I had been faced with this task to do, and I was choosing between two things. I was faced with this task to find a job where I could get health benefits for our family. So I had just put down the phone and I had just accepted a job at a private school where I would be a 4th, 5th grade teacher with a co-teacher, 15 students, great benefit package, wonderful pay, great, right? Just put down the phone and someone calls me up. It's a charter school. It's the head of the charter school. A friend of mine had told him that I had been applying to schools because I needed a job, and he had pulled my resume from wherever it had been dumped and pulled it out, and he called me because it was a performing arts teacher's job. Do you know how rare those things are? Performing arts teacher. I've spent my entire life as an artist, as a performer. I've spent my entire life doing that. I mean, I could get paid to do the thing that I absolutely love to do. I said, but isn't it kind of like, he said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I mean, it's like a dream come true. He said, well, why don't you come down and talk to us about it? I said, because literally, I just hung up the phone saying yes to a job. He said, well, did you sign a contract? I said, well, no. He said, well, that happens all the time in education. Don't worry about it. Just come down and see about the job. So I did. Now, that I would say is there were so many mistakes, just like my flaws. It's really hard to pick what, but that, I think, was my biggest mistake. I never, ever, ever two-time anyone. I am just not that kind of person. I never, ever do that. And I decided to do it this time. And they said they wanted to hire me. I was astounded. Oh my God. I said, but now, one thing you have to know, I have never taught 334 kids. I have been volunteering to teach middle school because I love kids and I love teaching and I love that grade and I just love it that much. I said, but I've never taught 334 kids in a public school over an entire year's time. Don't worry about it, he said. We have a complete curriculum that is perfectly aligned with all of the goals of the humanities department in which you will be a student. That's another one of my character flaws. I believe people when they say shit. Not only that, you will have a mentor. We will not leave you out to dry. Absolutely, if you want this job, we want you. I was just like on air. I remember calling up the head of the school. That was a very awkward conversation. Lots of big sighs and awkward silences. And at the end, she said, I hope this job is everything you wish it is. Well, I started right away. As soon as I was hired in June. The performing arts teacher was leaving because her father was dying, and she had to go to some Midwestern state and go be with him and her family. So she was in a rush to get out of there, but I kept on calling, saying, really, that curriculum, I'd love to see that. And so I kept on leaving messages and sending emails and leaving messages and sending emails. And so all of June ends, and then it's going to be July. I think I really have to bump this up, I'm going to bump this up. So I started calling, and then all of a sudden the entire website of the school disappears. And I think I signed a contract, so I'm pretty sure I have a job, but no one calls me back, no answer, nothing, until April. And I get a call from Ms. Misery, because I have changed the names, the principal of the middle school. And she has a mellifluous voice. Oh, Miss Dooley, so you've been trying to reach us. I said, yes, I'd really like to see this curriculum, because I've never done anything like this, and it would be really good for me to have that curriculum. I actually tried to take a course at Emerson College. They wouldn't let me take the course in the summer. I looked all over the entire greater Boston area. Believe me, if I want to find something, it's going to be found. There was no course being taught on how to do anything with theater with kids anywhere. But, so be it, So Ms. Misery says, well, no problem. I'll have you meet up with Miss Diehart, and she's the curriculum director. You can speak with her, and everything will be fine, I'm sure. So I went in, and there are these notebooks, and they have, like 30 coloring book pages of Greek costume and an odd lesson and thing. And I'm like, these are the curriculum books? This is the curriculum? I'm going to follow this for the So can I speak to someone else? So the curriculum director said, oh, not to worry. You can speak with Ms. Misery. So I talked to Ms. Misery, and she says, oh, I'm sorry that the curriculum is not what you expected. Oh, you expected? It's not a curriculum. Come on, please. But she was too busy to really talk to me. That was just a very brief little phone call. And then I had to talk to my mentor. Now, my mentor was half my age, and I am not an ageist. I want you to know that. Okay? And it wasn't that she was half my age. That was not the problem. The problem was that she hated me. And I'm pretty good at telling when someone hates me or when they like me. And the thing is, she told me how to teach middle school. She said, what you must do is, you must assume the attitude of Queen Victoria and give them a really nasty face that says, we are not amused. I thought, yeah, this is great. This is a Title I school. It's all these immigrant families and all these kids from Haiti and Latinos and everything. And these are my people. I mean, I've been teaching in this private school, and I just hated it. I mean, there's all these overly nurtured kids who are 9 years old, and they've already done everything. They've been to every country. They've been everywhere. They own everything. It's I love these kids. These are the kids in my neighborhood that we lived in. I mean, these are the kids I want to be with, So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, so Queen Elizabeth. And every time, Queen Victoria, rather, every time I talk to her, I mean, you can just see in her face and her demeanor, it's sort of like, she's looking at me and she's thinking, lie back and think of England. She just can't stand me. I mean, she is like, some Jane Austen person, and I'm, well, this is who I am. This is really who I am. I'm not any different now than when I'm talking in a job interview.